Hello, Internet! I missed my channel anniversary. As of November 7th, this channel is 12 years old, and I've been making videos for about as long. Private or public. I want to make this video just to talk about the past year, the future, all that. Where do we begin? Why, with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, of course. The first Let's Play to be completed within the past year of the channel. This was a weird project. I knew I wanted to cover it eventually, but visual novels don't really lend themselves to the type of videos I typically make. Sure, Ace Attorney is more interactive than some visual novels, but still, once you've played the game before, these kinds of games can't really surprise you. That's why I ultimately decided to go for more just a live dub of the full game, while also going for every achievement. I wanted to focus more on just telling the story than anything else, and you know what? I think I did a great job. This Let's Play has some of the best voice work I've ever done. Just as an example.
Get away from my father! You and your father are my curse! Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record! And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade! I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Death! Death!
Granted, that made every single video absolutely exhausting to record. I needed 2 lozenges after basically every recording session. Editing was also pretty stressful since I needed to replace every single in-game objection or hold it or take that with my own to match the character voices. I think it was ultimately worth it though. Honestly, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is one of my most slept-on projects. If you haven't watched it, I would encourage you to do so. It got better with time as I learned more about audio editing through the creation of the series, and I'm excited to get to the next game in the series someday. Next up, were Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, a series that you earned by donating to the Trevor Project in 2024 during Let's Play 4. This was my first time giving you a say over what game I'm going to make videos about, and honestly, while I probably won't do so again, I'm pretty proud of how it turned out in spite of the pretty short planning and turnaround time. Making the entire main story into just 9 videos was an idea I had from the very beginning, so if people wanted to just wait it out until I got to the new content in the post-game, they could, but I'm still really proud of just how jam-packed those first 9 episodes are with solid information and funny moments. I also think that this series was the peak of my graphic design, at least out of all the Let's Plays I've made so far. I think the bios and sidebars look the best they ever have in a Let's Play of mine. I'm excited for you to see how I expand on them in future Pokemon projects. It'll still be a while before I get to another one, but I have a lot of ideas, some of which may have already been executed. I think the post-game videos for Fire Red and Leaf Green are some of my favorite videos I've ever made. I went into the post-game sort of dreading it, as my recent first time playing through the Savvy Islands was pretty miserable. However, replaying it for the Let's Play, knowing what HMs I would need ahead of time, it was really fun, and I've come to love the Savvy Islands a lot more than I ever thought I would, especially Memorial Pillar and Savalt Canyon. Overall, I think this series was a really nice time getting to come back to this team I love so much in Generation 1 and experiencing all the remakes had to offer. However, I think in the future, it'll always be one or the other for me, either the original games or the remakes. Playing both ended up feeling really redundant in the end. Super Mario Land. It was a 2-episode April Fool's Let's Play. I did want to mention something about the bonus video, though. I don't think I was given enough credit for this, because when I recorded my footage for the bonus video, I somehow failed to record the audio. Instead of re-recording the video like a normal person, I personally reconstructed the game's audio on my own in my editing software. Now, was this a perfect job? No, I can think of one section where I messed up badly. It takes you up here to get these coins that are above the ceiling. And one where I gave up altogether. Of other coins, and the Super Ball bounces off of them for some reason. I don't remember that being a thing it does. But the bits that I did reconstruct, I killed it. But if we go in this pipe, there's an entire treasure room that we couldn't have gotten before. Yeah, I think you need the Super Ball technically to get everything, because that top row of coins is pretty high up. Anyway, enough patting myself on the back. Inazuma 11. This one was a little nerve-wracking to put together. This is a series that, to be honest, I know relatively little about. This series could not have been put together to be as informative and well-made as it was without the help of so many people in the Inazuma 11 community. Eri, Nep, the Inazuma 11 wiki, even sites that only exist on the Internet Archive had to be consulted for this one. The first game in this series is really poorly documented, so I could not have done this one without so much help. Also thanks to Flora for voicing Raydark, because I think that was really funny. Ultimately though, I'm really proud of how this project turned out. I think it's one of the best Let's Plays I've made since the reboot. I was a little hesitant to make it, since there is allegedly a remake coming out next year, but I'm glad I did. I'm excited to return to the series one day. Let's Play for the Trevor Project 2025 happened in August, right in the middle of Inazuma 11. This event was incredibly stressful to put together this year. My laptop had died out on me, and I had to rent a superpowered computer to be able to stream it all, and planning was horribly slow with me waiting until the last second for a lot of things. And I take full responsibility for this, by the way. Planning was entirely my job here. I also feel really bad about how weird day 2 was, with me just absolutely running on fumes the entire time. However, in spite of everything, this event still had some of my favorite segments we've done so far. It had tons of funny moments, it had some great bumpers, and we still raised over $500 for the Trevor Project, which is a pretty big deal. It's not as much as last year, but hey, people have less money this year than they did last year. This event is still one of the things I'm the most proud of in general, in my lifetime, and I'm so proud of my friends who have come together 2 years in a row now to make this event a success. I'm really hoping to continue the event for years to come, even if we should maybe take a break year in 2026. And that brings us to now. Animal Crossing. What a series this one has been, huh? I'm not gonna lie, this has been a really stressful series to put together. It's one I had major doubts about going into, as any of my friends could tell you, and those doubts still haven't entirely subsided for whatever reason. It's a big experimental project and one that I was really nervous about starting. However, I do really think it's been one of my favorite series overall. There's just been so much fun stuff to talk about, from obscure mechanics to version differences and more. I've also had a lot of fun with all of our animals, coming up with personalities and backstories for them. It's been a really, really fun time. I obviously have to thank Hunter R, Kyler, Brian MP16, and the entire Animal Crossing community for this project. I would not be anywhere without them, but I also need to thank my friends for being so supportive. I especially want to thank Flora, who played the game side by side with me just so I'd have a town to visit in the series, and I want to thank my friend Latergator to you. When I first started planning this series in August of 2024, it seemed like a monumental task. I had never played Animal Crossing consistently before, growing up with probably undiagnosed ADHD, but I don't know, still undiagnosed, so we'll see. On top of that, I had absolutely no idea how to structure videos about this game. So I reached out to one of the only people I know who had ever made videos about an Animal Crossing game before. Latergator to you. I told him about my plans to make videos about the game and asked for advice, and boy did they deliver. He told me to have an outline for things I want to do ahead of time, something I do have and which has helped a ton, as well as not to overstuff videos with too many topics. They said I'll develop a natural routine by playing normally and think of new topics I hadn't thought of before. This has also been true. He also suggested making a list of miscellaneous topics for slow days, which I have also done. Gator's advice has genuinely shaped this series into what it is. It's been really helpful, and a screenshot of our DMs from before I left Twitter was actually the first thing in my assets folder for this Let's Play, just so I can go back to it if I ever need to read it again. Thanks a ton for your advice for the series, Gator, and for recommending the Animal Crossing movie. Apparently it's been my older brother's comfort movie for a while, so I'm excited to sit down and get to it on both of your recommendations. And that brings us to now. I'm going to be honest, future's scary, y'all. My housing situation is back to relative instability, and that makes it hard to say exactly what's in store for this channel's future. However, I have big plans for future series. I hope you're looking forward to them no matter how long it takes for them to come to fruition. 12 years is a long time, but I really still feel like I'm just getting started. Well, that's about it. I'll see you later.